The lecture hall of the Galactic Institute of Xenobiology hummed with excitement. Hundreds of students, scaled, feathered, furred, and chitinous, filled the seats, their translator notes flickering as they chatted. Today was a special day in predatory species studies. Professor Zal, a tall, gray-scaled Zavati with luminous green eyes, stood before the holo display. With a flick of his claw, an image appeared in mid-air, a massive, bipedal creature with forward-facing eyes, blunt teeth, and oddly soft flesh. Class, Zal began, voice resonant through the translators. This is a human, once believed extinct. They are one of the few known apex omnivores capable of dominating every environment on their homeworld, Terra. A murmur spread through the room. Humans were the subject of fascination and fear across the stars, a race both admired and avoided. Professor, chirped a young Avrani student, wings fluttering nervously, is it true they kept apex predators as companions? Zal's nostrils flared, the alien equivalent of a smirk. Indeed, the humans formed bonds with species that by all logic should have destroyed them, canines, felines, even large aquatic hunters. To this day, no one understands how. He changed the display again. The hologram now showed a massive creature, sharp-toothed, powerful, and unmistakably dangerous. This, Zal said, is a Terran wolf. Early humans hunted beside them. Some still do with their descendants, dogs. Gasps filled the room. That, said one student, an insectoid karate clicking his mandibles in disbelief, would be suicide. The professor inclined his head. You would think so. And yet, humans manage it, through empathy, dominance, and something else we have yet to define. He paused dramatically. Today, you will see it for yourselves. The doors hissed open, and a figure walked in. The students turned in unison. A tall, lightly armored biped entered, a human, unmistakable. Brown hair tied back, a smirk on his lips, and a strange metal object clipped to his belt. But what drew every eye wasn't him. It was a creature padding silently at his side. A beast nearly as tall as a human's waist. Jet-black fur, glowing eyes, and jaws lined with razor teeth. It moved like liquid shadow, muscles rippling with each step. The room fell silent. Holy! Someone whispered in Galactic Common. The professor recovered first. Class, this is Captain Elias Ward of the Terran Frontier Expeditionary Corps. The human grinned. You can just call me Eli. And this, Zal continued carefully, is his companion. Eli rested a hand on the creature's head. This is Ghost. The beast's ears twitched. It sat obediently, tail curling around its paws. You may approach, Eli said. He won't bite unless you give him a reason. No one moved. Even the bravest students froze. Ghost's eyes scanned the crowd with the predator's calm, the kind that reminded everyone in the room they were not at the top of the food chain anymore. Finally, the Avrani student, feathers quivering, dared to speak. Captain, you coexist with this predator. Eli laughed softly. Coexist? Nah. We live together. We protect each other. He crouched and scratched Ghost behind the ears. The massive predator leaned into the touch, eyes half-lidded in pleasure. 100 alien jaws dropped. Professor Zal composed himself. Remarkable. Captain, our class has studied countless symbiotic relationships, but none between sentient predators and their prey. How does such trust exist? Eli shrugged. Same way we trust each other. Start small. Build respect. Share food. Take care of each other when things get bad. Ghost here saved my life a dozen times. A reptilian student hissed. But what if he turns on you? Eli met the student's eyes, steady, fearless. Then I guess I didn't deserve his loyalty. The silence that followed was thick enough to cut through. Ghost yawned, revealing teeth longer than most species' fingers. Yet the human scratched his chin casually, as if touching a harmless pet. The contrast was unsettling and mesmerizing. Would you allow a behavioral scan? Zal asked, breaking the spell. Sure, Eli said. Ghost doesn't mind. The professor activated his scanner, a soft hum filling the room. Data streamed across the display. Neural activity, hormonal levels, emotional readings. And then, confusion. The readings didn't match any known predator profile. Ghost aggression centers were dormant, replaced by something akin to affection. This is impossible, Zal murmured. His amygdala should indicate constant dominance tension, yet it shows trust. Genuine trust. Yeah, Eli said with a grin. He loves belly rubs too, if that helps. The class erupted in disbelief. After the lecture, several students approached cautiously. One asked, Human Eli, how do you convince such a creature not to eat you? Eli chuckled. Simple. You don't convince them. You show them. They feel what you feel. You treat them like family. They act like it. But another pressed, You tamed him. No, Eli said firmly. Taming means breaking something wild. We don't break. We bond. Ghost nuzzled his arm, as if to agree. That single gesture, that mutual affection, shook the class more than any lecture ever could. The students gathered around now, curiosity overcoming fear. Ghost tolerated them with stoic calm. One brave student extended a trembling hand, and Ghost sniffed it gently. His breath was warm and damp. See, Eli said, smiling. Respect the claws, but don't fear them. You humans are strange, the karate student said quietly. You make allies out of monsters. Eli laughed. Nah, we just see the good in them before anyone else does. When the class ended, Professor Zal escorted Eli to the exit. Captain Ward, he said softly, you've given these students something beyond science today. You've shown them empathy. Eli looked down at Ghost. We humans learned long ago that strength doesn't just come from claws or guns. It comes from trust, from knowing that when the darkness closes in, someone's got your back, even if they've got fangs. Ghost gave a low rumble, tail wagging once. As the human and his predator left the hall, the students stared after them, a silent understanding dawning among them all. That night, in their dorms, the students couldn't stop talking. Did you see how it looked at him? Like he was Pac, one said. They shared emotions, another murmured. Not dominance, connection. The karate student stared out the window, thoughtful. Maybe that's why humans survived everything. Not because they conquered, because they befriended. Weeks later, Professor Zal recorded his reflections. Today, humanity has taught me something profound. Apex predators do not dominate through fear alone. The true apex being is one who can inspire loyalty from the fierce and trust from the wild. Perhaps that is what makes humanity uniquely terrifying and beautifully fragile. He paused before finalizing his report, watching the recording of Ghost resting his head in Eli's lap. The monstrous beast purred softly, eyes content. And perhaps, Zal concluded, the universe could use a little more of that kind of power.